If you want to fight this battle of procrastination and win, you must first confront the procrastination demon head on and ask yourself why you're procrastinating. What is the reason? There could be multiple reasons why you don't feel like doing some things. For instance, if you're someone who procrastinates occasionally, your reason could be that the activity or the task is important but not urgent. Or the activity takes a lot of effort and there's no immediate payoff for your effort. So you're not really motivated to put in that hard work. Or it could be that the activity is boring, like creating some documentation for your team or putting together a presentation for your boss. Or it could be that you're not good at it and so you're afraid and anxious that the activity will be too hard and even thinking of it can stress you out, like learning a new skill that is hard to pick up. And if you're a chronic procrastinator who is habituated to put off things often, I hate to say this, but the root cause could be that you're either not ambitious in life or you lack the discipline to realize your ambition. This could also be the reason why those tips are not working for you. I'm sorry if I'm too harsh, but that's a reality with a lot of people out there. Now, let's look at the how. How can you beat the demon of procrastination? First, when you feel like putting off something for whatever reason, for any of the reasons that you're seeing here or any other reason that is not mentioned here, even then, think about the consequences of procrastination. For instance, if your boss has assigned you something and you have been procrastinating, what are the consequences? You may lose your credibility with your boss. Your boss may think that you're not reliable because you don't deliver on your commitments. And to make things worse, the tasks that you put off, they don't go away. They keep piling up and they only compound your feeling of guilt and low self-esteem, plus the added stress of a time constraint. So just remind yourself of those consequences at the time you feel like procrastinating. And that should motivate you to move and take action. Next, no matter how you feel, just get started. Some people say just do it. But if you're a chronic procrastinator, that may not work. It's like telling someone in a depression to just cheer. Instead, you can tell yourself, just get started. You might have heard the saying, 80% of the success is showing up. Once you show up and once you start, chances are that you'll keep going and even forget about the struggle you had before you got started. Have to do a course and get certified? Just get started. Need to put together that presentation that is due for Monday? Just get started. Getting started will trigger a psychological momentum. Once you start, you'll move. And once you move, you'll keep going. Now, let's look at what we can do specifically against these reasons. When the activity or the task is important but not urgent, the best thing you can do in that case is say no to the things that are not important, though they may be urgent, so that you can make time for the important. Meetings, for example. Do you really need to attend every single meeting? If you're expected to, do you have to sit through the entire meeting? Can you not ask if you can leave once you're done with your turn? Reading every single email in your box and responding to all of them, is that a must? When work rolls downhill non-stop from your higher-ups, learn to say no when you should. But the catch here is you can do that only when you're sincere and organized. You say no to something urgent and then your boss spots you loafing around, you're done. Similarly, you can say no only when you know how much exactly do you have in your plate. For that, you have to be organized. You need to have a to-do list for the day at least to know how much you got in your plate. Next, when the activity takes a lot of effort, instead of looking at the activity as a never-ending dark tunnel, break it up into a series of short tasks, short enough that they can be easily accomplished. Once you've successfully finished one component, you'll feel good and you'll gain momentum and it'll be much easier to move to the next component. Next, when the activity is boring, all you need is a little bit of motivation. For that, like how I asked you to think about the consequences of procrastination, conversely, think about the benefits of completing the task. Visualize and form a picture of the benefits of completing it in your head, and that should motivate you to get started. And now, when you're afraid and anxious because you're not good at it, do that activity as the first thing in the day. Keep it on the top of your to-do list. Do the thing that scares you the most first. Again, when I said do, all you have to do is make a start so that rest of the day you're at peace. Else, you may end up thinking about it all day, which at times can be dreadful. It can keep haunting you all the time. For instance, if you have to pacify an angry customer that is important for your business, finish that off as early as possible. Of course, prepare well and then do it. But just get over with it first. Or say you have to give a presentation to an enterprise customer and you're not really good at making a presentation or even delivering it. Even then, jump right into it, prepare well, and do it as soon as you can. Here, the issue is not procrastination, it's the fear. I know it's easy to say and hard to do, but the best way to beat your fear is to face it. I'm not saying this because it sounds cool. It's really true. Once you go through your fear, you're relieved and you're free. Maybe you'll fail, maybe you'll do a shoddy job, but one thing is guaranteed, your fear will vanish. And only when your fear vanishes, you'll make progress. You'll be able to attempt something bigger. Else, you may just find it hard to come out of your comfort zone and make real progress. So next time, whatever that you're uncomfortable with, prepare well and do it anyways. Whether it is jumping onto some tough calls with the customers or giving an important presentation or making some tough decisions or taking up challenging assignments, prepare well, plan well and do it anyways. Alright? Next, when the problem is with your ambition or your discipline, then you don't have a choice than making some changes to the way you think and the way you lead your life. The solution then is not downloading a time management app or learning new strategies for self-control. It has to do with developing some disciplined thinking and disciplined actions. Don't worry about overcoming your habit of procrastination. You have a bigger problem than that. These tips and hacks may not work. Even if you try, chances are that in no time you'll go back to your old habits. The first thing you need to do in order to turn around your situation is, instead of waiting for things to happen naturally or just keeping fingers crossed for something good to happen at your job or your business, set a compelling goal, but a goal that is realistic with respect to your career or your business, and decide that you're going to do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. When you have a goal, and if you decide to give it your all to achieve that goal, it motivates you to put in the work needed because now there is new reason, a new purpose. The progress you make against your goal and the fact that you're inching towards your goal will keep you energetic and motivated. And of course, it's not enough if you set a goal, but you have to spend time, think through and plan how you want to achieve it. What action should you take? Like what are all the things that you have to learn? What are the things that you need to do? And set some realistic timelines for each of those actions. The key here is not finding time for those actions, but making time for those actions. Otherwise, you'll not find time. Once you at least have a high-level plan to achieve your goal, and once you have laid out your schedule, say for the next 1 week, then it's more likely that you'll say no to the other things in life because you have a reason. If you don't have a goal, then there's no reason why you have to say no to anything. You're available to everyone and everything, hanging out with your friends, going to parties, shopping, movies, household chores, and the list goes on. Next, your environment. It's possible that your environment is not really encouraging you to be focused and productive. Your workplace at your home, the people you're surrounded with, what you see, what you hear, how you occupy yourself in your free time, all that is environment. Make sure your workplace is always tidy and organized. If your room is cluttered and chaotic, so will be your mind. If you don't have a good table and an ergonomic chair, just go get them. Make your workplace at home look like a place you feel like sitting and working on something worthwhile. If all you have is a couch or a cot, you'll not feel like working on your goals. You'll feel like lying down and watching Netflix instead. As a matter of fact, whether you like it or not, we are all a product of our environment. So if you want to change, you better change your environment than trying to change yourself against that environment. And lastly, make your temptations more inconvenient. For instance, if you compulsively check social media, delete those apps from your phone or just shut off the notifications so that you don't go down into the rabbit hole whenever a notification pops up. Those who are owning those apps and sending those notifications are earning millions or even billions. What are you earning? And when you want to spend some time on something that you want to enjoy, save it for the end of your day, but earn it. In fact, you should even block out some time towards the end of your day to rewind and do something you enjoy. Incorporate these things in your daily routine and strive for success instead of just coasting along in your career or in your life. If you can do that, your procrastination problem goes away before you notice. The fact is, you cannot isolate procrastination problem and fix only that. You have to fix the bigger problem. Procrastination is only one of the symptoms of a bigger problem in your life. For all you know, you perhaps have many other symptoms. Fix that bigger problem and most of the symptoms will go away. And if you think this video can help any of your friends, don't forget to share it. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning and keep rocking.